Now we're live.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Welcome to Sad Dad's Club Podcast. I'm the Foo.
I'm the Jim. And we got a happy typer over there. Whatever his name is.
I always want you guys to introduce me because it just means that I'm just the best one here.
Oh, is it?
As we sit here and wait for you to
as
say
we
some
start
shit.
episode 43,
Episode 43.
what was the code word?
Okay. This is going to sound odd, but I can't remember it.
Oh. Bing.
Tune in next week, ladies and gentlemen, when the asshole production crew is asked again.
I forgot my headphones, so I couldn't listen on Friday.
Well, here come the
and
excuses.
then Thursday, I can't remember what my excuse is for that. And then
I got my
haven't
junk
been to
stuck
work
in a
since
Mazda
Friday.
3.
I broke all my tools trying to get out the hub. Oh.
Did you?
I actually sheared a quarter-inch drill impact bit.
Yeah, that thing was not very...
Bro, that thing's supposed to be rated for like 250 foot-pounds of
Dude,
torque.
it's smaller than your penis.
I don't think that's logically all that wrong.
It's one of those 90-degree bend torque wrenches.
Or maybe it's bigger than your penis. I don't know. Anyway.
There's leverage.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, everyone. We glad you're here to get all up in this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the hotness.
It's warm. You know, not as warm as it was earlier in the week, but anything in the 90s.
You know, if my dad checks in.
Are you dead, son?
He was here
warm.
on Friday and yesterday to drop off plums, and both times,
Your dad's growing plums?
yes,
How do I not know this?
You want plums? I've got a whole bag of plums.
Son, I eat those every day just about when they're ripe at the store.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'll send you home some. Both times when he visited,
Yeah.
he assured me and Venus, well, it's hot now, but it's supposed to taper off towards the end of the week. I took his word, and no, it's not. So
Well,
this afternoon, Venus was like, it's so hot outside.
It was
so hot.
It was a little cooler in Grass Valley today, I will say.
Okay, well, then maybe I'll have to let him have a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Well, I mean, it's cooler here, but not by much, so it doesn't feel like it's that much cooler.
Because she came home, she's like, it's so hot. And I said, really? She's like, yeah, it's hot. And I said, well, Dad said it was supposed to taper off. And I went, but I didn't actually look.
Just like a turd.
So she looked on Google, and then we asked Alexa, and it cross-checked to like 90, 95, 97, 95, 97. They ain't fucking tapering off.
I want to say
My own dad lied to me.
it seems like it's more humid this summer than it normally is. And maybe that's part of the problem is we usually have really dry summers
Right.
here.
I had a coworker ask, checked in, was like, "How's your summer going? How are the kids?" And I said, "Well, I'm gonna knock on wood here." I said, "It has, yeah, not while I'm working, that's for sure. That's a wood stifler."
Knocking on your own wood.
I said, "It has not been terrible.
Yeah.
It's been a hot summer, but I feel like the last couple of years it's been ludicrous." Would you
No, you know, I feel like the last couple summers have been kind of mild.
really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did have some last summer. There were a couple 100-degree streaks,
Yeah,
but
I don't
the couple
feel like
summers
we've gotten
before that, it was a little on the mellow side. I remember we were only in the 90s a couple times, you know. But this summer we've kind of avoided most of the hundreds. I think we hit it like once.
I felt like we hit it early.
But I need to know datas what the relative humidity is right now. Look at him go.
Look at him. Tick, 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 tick,
Yeah.
tick.
It doesn't even care.
No.
In Roseville?
Yes.
You know, that's your pounding of the keys is showing up in the record.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Can you maybe put some foam tips? What is he doing?
I don't know. How long is it?
Are you
Googling.
coding a new app to figure this
Yeah.
out?
He's like, I gotta ask Tim Cook if
Hold
I
on,
can.
I had to dry the ball sweat, and then I had it start
Oh
typing.
yeah. Well, the nut bar.
It says,
You wouldn't have to dry the ball sweat if you just keep your damn hands off of them.
I'm not sure what it, where does it show it here?
Oh my gosh!
It doesn't show
wow.
anything for humidity.
You can lead a horse.
Could you
to
not
water.
ask Siri? Siri, what's the humidity in my area?
What is the humidity in Roseville?
The humidity index is currently 25%.
Well, it's a little higher than normal. I want to say
Yeah.
we're usually in the 10 to 15.
Was that my Siri or
Top
yours?
end would be 20,
It was yours. Mine
Oh, okay.
still looks the same.
I couldn't tell what.
but it's not terribly out of
It has
whack.
not been terrible.
It's 93 currently, and it is
It's still
20,
hot.
25%
Anything over
humidity.
90 in my book is just
Bro, my house was 87 yesterday.
wreck me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
87, bro.
Wreck me. I don't like it.
Xander's a prolific sweater.
I need to
So
go.
He's not drenched right now, but if he gets there, then we'll know it's too hot.
You're gonna like you're gonna fucking glisten on this video, bro.
I need to move to Maui. Because, I mean, it's like 83 degrees there all year round.
Did you, speaking of Maui, did you see that the fire that they had at right outside Kihi?
No.
So they had a
You're getting a delivery.
Xander, go get it. Go this way. Just stand by my car, and when they start walking up the driveway, say thank you.
Amazon Prime is here.
And then tell them no tip.
Yeah.
I actually
You
had
don't have
someone
to floss.
deliver me a package and then hand it to me and kind of stand there like I was supposed to give him a tip or something. And I'm like, just look at him, thanks.
Yeah.
And it was like he was annoyed that I didn't hand him over a couple bucks.
But just give him a good handshake and a tipsy. Oh, so fire. So fire right outside Kihi, which is like the town that we prefer to stay in or around when we're there.
I know
at
it
Maui.
is Kihei, but yeah, I think.
Kihei.
Kihei.
Because you pronounce all the volumes. Thank you.
You want to be on the podcast?
Yeah.
He doesn't have
Okay,
time.
watch out the cable.
He's got deliveries.
Thank you. Good job, buddy. A huge brush fire, like
Really? Well, that's all brown up there, right?
right. But
For the
you think
most part.
it's an island right next to. They would have no problems pumping water.
They're just like
So,
sucking up like starfish.
They ended up having to. They asked because Oprah has a bunch of property there.
Oh.
And she has
Lucky.
her own private gated access road that gets her like a cut through.
And our own fire department.
Well, apparently not that.
Oh.
So she called up the county, or the county called her, or whoever manages her property, and they had her open up her gate to her private road to allow another thoroughfare for people to get out of, because they were
Out of Dodge?
evacuating some of
Yeah.
the properties.
I thought this wasn't recording because it wasn't showing up here. The red dot. I was like,
He doesn't know what he's doing.
no, sorry.
I have
Anyway.
concerns about his future.
Yeah.
I hope any prospective employer that sees the fact that you've put this on your resume doesn't listen to any of these shows where we rip on you.
Huh?
Are you ready? Are you and going to State Fair? State Fair started.
Fuck. No.
Oh, God. If it's this hot, no.
First of all, I hate being outside because it's hot. Second of all, it's the most ghetto place on earth.
Patrick sent me hashtag Hi Dernick churro
Hey.
stand picture.
Oh, geez. That's worth the price of admission.
I may ask him to like try one and like, do I need really? Do
I mean,
do
it's-
I need to make it down there?
I think it's worth going to the fair just to eat some of the weird food. And then even that's expensive.
You know,
though.
it's some of the things. It's like barbecue or a campfire thing.
Uh-huh.
I think some food just like the ambiance thing, like
Yeah.
the environment in which you're in, can make something that's nothing spectacular feel and taste
Way
better
better.
than it
Because
normally
you're
would.
out in a
if you were
parking
in
lot.
a white box and you would just come from a Wiener Schnitzel or something like that and
Yeah.
got a corn dog that was deep fried in the same type of oil,
Yeah.
tastes different because you're in a carnival area. It's like whimsical and
Yeah.
there's something like
No,
is
I hear
firing extra when you like take a bite of the corn dog kind of thing.
That's true. But then they also have stuff that you can't get other places on normal times.
Like Thug Life.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they've got weird stuff. I mean, they have like all the barbecue places and all that kind of stuff, but then they have
Yeah.
some places that just do weird stuff. And you can't, those food trucks are like specifically driving around the country and selling stuff at fairs. It's not like they're showing up at the downtown Roseville food truck night on Thursdays. Hey, we've got the deep fried Oreos with peanut butter, or whatever it is.
You ever thought about doing a food truck?
Yes. I would love to do like a pizza food truck.
Really?
With a wood-fired pizza oven. Yeah. Thin crust kind of pizza.
Yeah, I imagine if you adopted the same kind of blaze quick fire thing.
No, well, I mean, yeah,
that
but
kind of thin crust.
but way higher quality than what. I mean, I like Blaze. Don't get me wrong.
Well, I'm talking more like the ability to
Oh.
cook a pizza that fast.
Yeah. A really hot wood-fired pizza oven. Yeah. There's actually a company that does something like that. That's
I feel like that. I
Local,
don't know
but-
if you could keep up. They would have to be relatively small
Dude,
to
your
keep
truck
up with
would
like a.
well, you
Be
do
hot
personals,
as
right?
fuck.
You do personal pizzas. That's what you expect because you're a food truck, so you're not like
Yeah, but
you're not
10
making like 16-inch or 20-inch large pizzas or
10
whatever it is.
minutes for a personal sized pizza.
It doesn't take that long to cook at really high temperatures. Thin crust, like a crispy thin crust type pizza.
Right, but is that not? Are you going to be able to cook it any faster than you would get a normal sized pizza at Blaze?
Yeah, because you're doing Blaze's ovens run at like 800 degrees or some ridiculous temperature, so that's why they cook a little quick. But yeah, you can do that with a wood-fired pizza oven for sure, because you're actually burning wood in the oven. It's around the pizza on the backside.
Man, if you were good, I don't see how you would be able to keep up. You would have to have like an oven so big in the back of that truck
I don't know.
that you would.
I think you could do it.
You would
You
also
can-
be being baked.
Well, the first thing is number one, they would have to be made and then cooked. So there's a whole process with pizza, right? Because you've got to roll the dough and get it put out. You want it to be authentic.
Yeah, how big is your food truck? Is it like a
Regular size?
27-foot juggernaut?
No, I'm whatever a regular food truck
Right?
is. It
'Cause
just
you're
has a
talking
pizza
about
oven in the back.
like a pizza fixins line,
yeah,
a rollout line, rollout,
yeah.
and then a
You
turnaround.
you have kind of probably one guy that's gonna prepare all the dough, so he's gonna be rolling out and tossing it and putting it down and getting it ready. Then you're gonna have somebody who's gonna apply sauce and cheese, maybe, or that could be the person who's doing the sauce and cheese would be the guy that does the ingredients.
Oh,
So this guy gets them ready. This guy sauce, cheeses, ingredients, and then they go to the guy who's manning the oven.
maybe you just have
I think really it's
5
probably
or less pre-made choices. The whole ability to custom tune a thing with varying cookie times needed, I feel like you'd be.
I don't think that. I think that it has to be. I think it has to be like you have to purport that it's like made now, that it's fresh.
Right.
And
No, I meant like you have pre-chosen options. Like
pre-set up.
Right.
Like
it's like you're not
combos.
going to get up there. Yes, you're not going to get up there and go, and I'll take tomatoes
Oh,
and
yeah.
red onions and Kalamata olives and roasted garlic and it's like no, not a la
I
carte.
think you
We've
would
got
probably do
a Vegisaurus, a Metasaurus,
Yeah, something like
a
that.
light,
Yeah,
and like a gluten nom or whatever
a
that's
gluten-free
made
biscuit.
on a saltine
cracker.
wafer.
Yeah, I think those have gluten in them.
Yeah, well, here it's a ceramic disc. Go to town.
Yeah, we got you one of the wafers they feed you at the Catholic Church, and we're gonna put your sauce and cheese on that.
Yeah, good luck,
Yeah.
Good luck.
body of Christ.
Thank you, Jesus. Anyway.
The holy pizza.
Oh,
Yeehaw!
now he's a cowboy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You get down.
All right.
So what'd you do this weekend? Anything in particular?
I was on the pager, so I didn't do a lot.
Wait, like a chicken on an egg?
What?
You were on the pager.
Yeah, you hatched that shit
Oh.
from 7 to 7.
So are you done with it now?
Yes, it ended Tuesday.
Testicle Tuesday.
Yeah, I ended up, getting off to I was like looking like You
the,
okay?
the look he gave
Yeah.
was priceless.
You want to ring a bell, buddy?
I think he needs his own camera.
Yeah.
I think it's,
Um,
he doesn't want to think about Testicle Tuesday. Apparently, it's important.
it's getting there. I had time. I washed because Susie's car, Venus's mom, had her thing. They came home.
Finally,
Their trip sounded really awesome. Like
Yeah.
they said they hit every climate going down the river.
nice.
Had a really good time. Susie had problems with her back. That reminds me, she sounds like she's on the verge of needing a
Is Chandler standing in a windstorm? Jesus. Sorry.
fusion.
He's like, if this is the joke, is that for the listeners, if Chandler stands in a windstorm, he sounds like a jug band. If he doesn't have any clothes on, He
Yeah.
just-
Because he's so blown out.
yeah, just blown
In the backside.
out. Yeah. Anyway,
I had been sitting and addressing pager stuff Sunday. So, or that was Friday.
how often do you address pager stuff?
It depends. Lately, it's been pretty busy, but the cutoff seems
Reliability seems in question now.
right. So, but the cutoff seems to be a little bit more abrupt. So I don't feel like I might have to hang out after, like a margin of error kind of. It's like hits X, hands over to the next ad.
Nice.
So Friday, I ended up after my shift was over. I washed her car. Detailed it and whatnot.
I'm going to bring my car over next time.
It will get washed. Because then I wash.
So I just leave it out here?
Yeah,
Is that
it'll
the
get
deal?
washed.
All right. Do I need to leave the keys?
I don't do insides because personal space.
Come on, bro.
If you said go nuts, then I would, but I wouldn't presume to. Like
No,
I
I
wiped
just-
hers down, but I didn't clean console and remove stuff from personal space.
Yeah.
I wiped the dash.
All right.
So that led into I then washed Venus's car.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things when I was showing Piper, taking observations of cars where you get in them helps you, know what the car, what's going on, whatnot.
Yeah.
Understanding your car. So I'm washing Venus's car and I'm detailing her tires, and I noticed that she's got balding going on the outside.
She needs hymns
Yeah.
for her tires.
Right. On the one side of one tire.
Uh-huh.
And she and the kids are doing a road trip stuff for the weekend, like a longer weekend with friends. And so I called her out. I'm like, it's not really going to work. And really, if you're going to...
Wait, I thought you were just going to say, here's the problem. Just take the focus.
Yeah. If she wanted to.
What?
But
Really?
I guess.
Come on, man.
She can. I don't have any reservations about her driving my car.
Okay. All right.
It's an automatic baked in marital agreement.
Can we get married?
Suddenly, Fu has become Mormon.
Yeah.
And he's got multiple wives.
I told her, I said, it's not, there's no steel ribbons showing, but I said, when you get back, you need new tires. It won't make it till, I think we had planned and budgeted for new tires like the end of the summer kind of thing, like
Yeah.
before winter, fall.
Did you already replace them though?
We had to, because she didn't feel confident in doing all the driving. I'm like, I said, it's on the tread ribbon near the sidewall. I said, so you're going to Mendocino. You both know, if you've ever driven there. It's twists, turns. It's not
Right.
easy on the sidewalls. And so she just made a command decision and said she would go get new tires. And so she did.
It's tire time.
That's what she
is
did.
This is also the part where I say that Jason is absolutely slacking when he still has his winter tires on and it's mid-July.
Yeah. Well,
We're both very disappointed.
yeah.
Fuck, man.
I traded
Look
them.
at him, he stutter. He doesn't even know what to say.
I ran through the Cup 2s through most of winter.
Oh,
I know, yeah.
So it's like I'm rotated out seasons.
Oh, so you got to put the Cup 2s on for at least a month, and then you just put the other
Right.
tires back
Like
on.
How much
in-
more tread do you think are left on those? Like, how many more?
At the
miles?
rate in which I'm driving, I've got 2 years.
Probably.
Probably. Especially if I do my bebopping around on the all seasons.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
oh, so I said, "I'll tell you what I'm going to do." I said, so I'm detailing the car. I said, "Go ask Piper to come outside, and I'll see if she can spot the anomaly." Mm-hmm. So she had Piper come out, and I said, "So I'm still detailing the tires," and I said, "I want you to look at all of Mommy's tires." And I said, "I want you to point out if you notice anything, out of the ordinary or something of concern to you." And I'm hoping that she would get it, but she didn't.
Oh, okay.
So to be perfectly honest, she didn't get it, and I
Yeah.
said, "So here's what I was hoping you would see, and you're not in trouble or anything." But
I would have beat the shit out of her.
I
Just
said, so
laid into
I
her,
went to
man.
a good tire, and I said, "So here's your contact patch. Here's
Yeah.
the part of the car part of the tire that touches the road." I said, "Here's the tread wear on this tire." I said, "Go look at this. Go look at the other tire." And she went, "Oh," and she got it. She understood. And I
Well,
said,
probably if you didn't know what you were looking for, like, if you didn't really pay attention and know what a regular tire would have looked like.
right, but
then
if
maybe
you're
you may not
gonna
have
if you're
picked
gonna
it up.
go around your car, I think the tread wear is something that's like a pretty obvious thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I said, and to be on it, right, when you pulled up with your car, I
Yeah.
did the same exact thing.
I know.
And
I know.
saw that you had a sidewall.
I know,
bulge.
which is crazy. Well, they've replaced that.
So I
but-
said, no one's above like the simple things. I think
Yeah.
that probably would get me to the.
Well, what's funny about that is Datas and I spent an hour, 45 minutes
Doing what?
staring at that thing
Oh yeah, it was a good 45 minutes.
and never saw that.
And we missed.
and that's no fault of your guys either, because imagine if your
It's so
tire had
dark.
been, if you'd have been parked
Yeah.
where it was on the
Yeah.
bottom, you would not probably have. It would not have raised a flag.
Right.
But the way in which it was parked when you showed up,
Yeah.
and I happened to go around,
Right.
Yeah. 50-50 shot.
Absolutely.
You obviously saw it once I went. Was that?
I was like, oh shit. Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
So
Bing.
hopefully, like
My
the
neighbor's
simple
cracking me up
things,
right now.
she pulls out of that
Yeah.
discussion. Anyway, and that was pretty much it.
What did I do this weekend? What did I do this weekend?
I don't fucking know. I wasn't with you. I don't think.
Paint the house. Did you go to prison? Was it a prison?
Yeah. So now he
Oh.
sounds like when he's in the wind. Naked.
No, I was the one making people stand like that. Come on, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you not do
Huh?
anything?
We ended up running a bunch of errands. Probably spent way too much money. Oh, we went to John's Incredible for a birthday party on Saturday.
John's Incredible Pizza
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
for a small minion.
Yes.
Yeah,
A young minion, a 3-year-old.
yeah. Did you crush all the games?
I didn't play any games. I don't care about that. But
Oh.
the kids, Datas and Melanie and Ian all played games, and I really didn't do too much. We just kind of ran errands, and
Yeah.
Shan she had bought some cushions for some chairs in the back, and she bought one to make sure it fit, and then we had to go get
Back
the rest.
to get. Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And did some work around the house, a little bit of stuff here and there. But
Yeah.
it's too hot to do. Why has it got to be hot on the weekend? It's nice. It's nice during the week, and then it's hot as crap on the weekend. It's like,
Yeah.
man, that was frustrating. Like, cool off on the weekend.
I'm hoping to get
I'm in the office all week.
some stuff because, like I said, the kids and Venus will be in Mendo for the weekend.
Yeah.
So I'll hopefully get. I don't have work this weekend,
Yeah.
so I'm hoping to get some time into the fence. Probably
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna hang a new gate because the gate's falling apart.
Yeah.
You just love fixing fences, don't you?
I got
Yeah,
a fence and gate you can do at my house.
they're falling apart.
Yeah. Just come on over. You don't even have to knock. Just show up.
Just start and wash your car.
Of course.
I can do that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll get you. I'll just make a key for you. You can just come over and wash it whenever you want.
I was going to say, to Dave, Mike's friend.
Yeah. That's rough.
So if you are a friend of Mike and listen to the podcast, probably CJ, obviously, Mike has a work associate that was over the 4th of July weekend was in a terrible accident out camping up in Tahoe.
Like buggy or like
a Jeep. He had
a
a
Jeep? Oh, that's right, Jeep.
lifted and awesomed out Hoonigan style 4x4.
Yeah.
Head trauma, pretty severe.
Mm-hmm.
And the news so far has been very positive that he's
Yeah.
pulling through, which is always good news. But it was one of those things, like the first reports and stuff that Mike had been relaying to us.
They sounded pretty grim.
They did, and you know, some of the pictures, God, they were brutal. I mean, he took a damage in a bad way straight onto a tree.
Yeah.
You know, and he had the facilities to have more harnessings, and for whatever reason, it was something that we had talked about with Piper. It's like, you know, it may seem silly for some of the simple things that you may do when you get in a car, and you may just be like, "Oh, that's not a. I don't have to."
I'm
worry
only
about
going to the store. I don't need to put on my
It's just a
seatbelt.
quick, you know. It's just down the road.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to the grocery store.
Quarter mile.
You know, I don't. Do I really need my seatbelt right here?
Yeah.
You know, he was wearing a lap belt. As far as we know, nothing on the harness failed, which is, you know. But you're just like,
Yeah. You
some
just
of the
never
simple,
know.
some of the simple things, and two, it led us into an interesting conversation about how far cars have come,
Yeah.
cars and trucks in general, and the safety feature set afforded to newer drivers or even drivers that are just buying new cars compared to some of the stuff that you and I grew up with
Yeah.
that were metal cans
Yeah.
with lap belts.
Well,
And a lot of the protection that you may have thought you had was just the fact that you were covered in steel.
yeah, a giant car made
Right.
out of steel.
You know, and if you hit something,
Well,
you
like
know.
the car that I spent many hours in, numerous camping trips and trips back to the like Mississippi and stuff like that, was a '73 Plymouth Fury Grand Coupe, so a giant two-door like V8 thing.
yeah.
That was twice as long as your Focus. I mean, this thing
yeah,
was
yeah.
ginormous. We didn't even have to wear seatbelts as a kid, literally.
Yeah.
And I remember standing on the hump in the back, or
Oh, yeah.
you know, playing Hot Wheels on the rear deck.
Yeah.
You know, or even we had like a Plymouth station wagon, and riding in
Side
the way
seats.
back.
Yeah. Side seats.
No,
Oh.
no, just sitting in the back.
Ours did.
And I mean, we literally, seatbelts were not a thing. In fact,
Yeah.
the Fury had lap belts in it, but they were nice and tidily put up on the ceiling in the holders.
That's
and you
funny.
never got them down because they were a pain in the ass to put back up.
Yeah.
And God forbid you should touch them, because my mom would have freaked the fuck out.
Is that the car Scott threw Hot Wheels around in?
No, that was in the Trail Duster.
Yeah, because when Mike was here, we were talking about, and Piper was in the room when we were talking about the differences in newer cars versus older cars. I
Yeah.
said, you know, we brought up specifically the same kind of thing. I said, when I was, you know, your age, and, you know, my brother and her Uncle Brett was a toddler, he rode in the lap of my mom in a there was no car seat.
Yeah.
He rode in the lap, and his belt was arms.
Yes.
And that was if she didn't feel like
High
putting an
tech.
arm out the window.
Well,
you know?
that was the other one too. Is your mom had the reflex of a seatbelt arm? Is what I used to. It was kind of what I call it.
Oh, yeah.
Where anytime she had to hit the brakes, the arm came out.
The arm comes out.
Well, that arm's not going to do shit.
And Mike had said too, going back to Dave, that part of the when it was started coming out in details is that he had done that. He when they got
Put the
close,
arm out.
he had leaned over
Uh,
to protect her.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's like built-in reaction. I don't know if that translates
I wonder
to
if that,
younger drivers or not.
I
but
wonder
that
if-
was like a common thing for us.
Yeah.
Like,
the arm out.
Dad hits the brakes suddenly, or Mom does, and this happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, come off the stick. It
Yeah.
breaks,
yeah.
arms out.
I wonder if him doing that played some kind of role in his injuries.
I can't
If-
see how it. I mean,
he
it's possible. If
Had
you have to
stayed
do
straight in his seat,
Right.
maybe it would have come out a little bit different,
maybe.
injury wise.
But him coming around. So, Dave, if you ever make it around, or if you're a podcast listener, and well wishes from us for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're thinking about him because we're hearing about him from Mike.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely good thoughts going that way.
yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy stuff, and especially considering I just bought a car, and it's like, oh, it's got not just the airbags in the dash, it's got
Yeah.
knee airbags
Yeah,
and
here
curtain
and here.
airbags and
Yeah.
all this stuff. It's almost like you're being bubble wrapped.
Yeah.
In case of an accident,
Yeah.
it's
I
crazy.
think I have like 10 airbags in my car or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nuts.
I mean, it's good. I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
But part of the conversation we had with Piper was that you need to understand that you may get in some vehicles where those things aren't there.
Mm-hmm.
So don't ever approach your driving or your vehicle with the concept that, well, I'm protected, so I can be,
Oh, yeah.
I can bleed on the edge kind of thing.
Yeah.
Don't. You need to drive everything without overdriving the capabilities of the car, and presume that
You're
some of
safe.
those safety features aren't there.
Yeah.
And, if something really bad were to happen, you can hope that they are all working as they should.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we had a Nissan Altima. What year was that thing? A 97 Nissan Altima. And one of the reasons why we bought it was because the car that Shanna had prior to was a two-door Jetta. And when we had Chandler, his car seat went in the back of the Jetta, and the mechanism that allowed her to put her driver's seat forward so she could get to the back
Right.
broke in the seat.
Okay.
So it was a hassle for her to walk around, especially if a hot car with a kid in the back.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, we should really be getting a car that's a lot safer. I mean, there's airbags now, blah blah blah. So we ended up getting this '97 Nissan Altima,
Thing was sick.
and well, the problem with the Altima was it was fine for a couple years, and then all of a sudden one day the airbag light came on.
Oh.
Well, then I read in the user guide of the car, well, if the airbag light's on, that means your airbag system is disabled. Oh, well, that's fucking great. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we bought this car.
Right.
So take it in, and they go, oh, okay, well, we're not sure what's wrong, but we reset it, and the light's out, and looks like the system's functioning. Well, some couple months later, the light comes back on, and then we go have them reset it. So they're like, then the next time it happened again, they're like, well, we've already reset it twice. It's probably the computer's bad, and it's $1,000 to replace the computer
Oh, good God.
that manages the airbag system. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Like, this is a major safety function of this car.
Fast forward 10 years later, and now we've got Takata airbag failure.
Yeah.
Turns out, guess what?
Well,
Takata.
so then it became, well, we're not going to spend $1,000 on the computer, so because we didn't have the money to do that then.
Right.
So you know what? Can you just disable the light
Oh,
so it's not on the dash? So
sad
they did.
dad.
Yeah. So now we have a car that we bought because it had airbags that no longer has airbags, and it's sort of like it's time to get rid of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What'd you get instead? What came in?
I had bought a PT Cruiser,
Oh, yeah.
and then a month later we bought the Civic.
Oh, okay.
So the Civic
Yeah.
is what Shannon ended up driving instead. So yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that's funny and ironic.
The PT Cruiser was sick.
We had just watched. So because we didn't leave the house, Piper and I watched Stranger Things.
Which episode are you on now?
Yeah.
We finished.
Oh, so did I.
Yeah.
No, don't say a fucking. Thing, I will take
No.
a bat to this facility.
So I can, without spoilers, one of the main rides in the movie is they have the hoopty station wagon.
Yeah.
Right, with the back seats where you're
And they
sitting.
keep climbing into the
You
trunk.
sit towards the
you're
back.
looking at your buddy, so you're
Oh.
perpendicular to the car.
Yeah,
So
okay.
how smart is that in hindsight? You putting people right next to the bumper, and they're like
And the gas filler.
torsion strained.
What did you think about it?
So
You know what?
it was good, but I will get. I don't want. Well, yeah, it was
I
good.
got 4 shows
Hey,
to go.
go
bro.
fucking take a walk. Me and
So-
I'm
Fu
gonna
are
lose
gonna
a
talk about it
shoe
real
in
quick.
here.
At some point, whoever's driving it, he pulls into a parking spot. The one young man pulls into a parking spot, and the car he kind of chirps it to a
And-
stop, and the suspension on this station wagon is
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and I am laughing.
That's
and
how they were.
Piper's looking at me like, "What's so funny?" And I hold on a second.
Back it up.
Venus saw it. Venus knew exactly what I was looking at.
Wait. Which part? I was
Oh,
just
come
spacing
on,
the fuck
bro.
out.
They were pulling into a parking spot or something, wherever they were at,
Yeah.
and he comes to a quick stop
Oh.
in the station
And it's
wagon,
like-
and it.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Any
I just
listeners
spaced out
that want to
hard.
go to Chandler's house with a foam bat and
Yeah.
just beat the crap out of him?
A foam bat.
Yeah.
A fungo.
I will supply the bats if you
Yeah.
contact me, and I'll give him your
So
address.
Venus gets it, and she's chuckling because I'm laughing of considerable
'Cause it's all-
unnecessary
Leaf
length.
Springs.
right?
So I rewind. I'm like, just watch what happens to the car. Just watch what happens to the car. Rewind it
I missed that part. That's
to
funny.
and then play it, and yeah, you get like a. It's hilarious because you're like, cars don't do that anymore.
I missed that,
No.
but it's probably because I wouldn't know to look for it. You know
You
what
know,
I mean?
nowadays cars don't even nosedive that bad in a hard braking situation. A lot of times,
Probably not, because that kind of stuff
Yeah.
is bad for however they're going to keep you in the seat.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, just for the stability of keeping the car under control while you're braking too.
Well, yeah.
So, but yeah, I have a issue that I need to bring up on this podcast.
Go.
Is this the one you told me not to let you forget?
Yes.
I was going to let you forget it because I forgot.
I have been very happy for many years now
Okay.
with our consolidated
Uh-oh.
internet service, and I'm not unhappy with the internet service.
Okay.
I will just say that
Because it's much better than
it's
Comcast. Hashtag
100%
fuck Comcast.
uptime. I'm not unhappy with that.
Okay.
What I am unhappy with is one of the services they provide that you use is email. Okay.
Okay.
So for years, no problem. This year, out of nowhere, I started missing emails, and I'm like, where are my emails? Where's this? I have a Gmail account that forwards to my email on Consolidated, right? And I'm not getting the emails. I could log into my Gmail. There's the emails. Why are they not showing up in my SureWest account? Like, what is going on in my Consolidated account?
Okay.
So I don't know what to do about that. They're not in my junk folder. I just figure maybe Gmail's not forwarding all the stuff, or maybe somehow SureWest is rejecting stuff.
Okay.
And I for a long time couldn't figure it out, for months. So a couple weeks ago, I'm like doing the same thing. Where's all of my email? I'm missing stuff. I log into the Consolidated webmail,
Okay.
and there is a folder in there called Quarantine that had 3,000 of my email messages sitting in it.
Wow.
3,000 messages since January that have been sitting in this folder, not being delivered. So what do
Are
you
they
have?
all the Gmail ones?
They're all the stuff. They're anything they deem
So
as
it's-
questionable goes into this thing. So it's like, I'm not kidding, like hundreds of Amazon order stuff, like tons of important things that I just
Okay.
hadn't been getting.
Okay.
So I select every message in the quarantine folder and I drag it into the main message folder, and that moves them over. Now I've got 3,000 messages coming into my email client
Ooh.
because
No bueno.
those are all
Okay.
new messages now, right?
Right.
And so every day now, I have to log in to my stupid consolidated webmail, where there's no less than 30 mails already in the quarantine folder that I have to select them all and drag them into the thing so my email client can pick them all up.
So there's an okay.
So I contact them. I'm like a
Okay.
little frustrated, like, "Hey, man!" And so I in the webmail I go, "I got to figure out how to turn this off," and there's no options.
Right.
And I select the folder, and one of the options is delete the folder. Well, I figure if the folder's not there, it can't do anything.
Populate it with anything.
Yeah. So I delete the folder, log back in, the folder's gone. I'm like, happy. Sweet. Okay, now I'm going to get all my email.
He said, "Yeehaw."
Next day, I'm missing email again. I log in there, the quarantine folder's back, and there's 35 messages in there.
Oh boy.
Dude, what the heck? So I like get on a chat with somebody from support, and I'm like, "Hey, what's the deal with this quarantine folder? I need to get rid of it. It's capturing tons of my messages every day.
And I have cocaine deals that are going bad.
35 to
Seriously.
60
It's
messages
fucked
a
up.
day
It's
that
his
are
livelihood.
that are going into here."
Okay.
And yeah, well, we're still configuring that. Well, how can I turn it off? You can't. You can't turn it off. There's no user selectable options. There's no configuration that the user can have. It's just turned on, and you can't do anything about it. So now every single day, I have to log into my damn consolidated webmail and drag all my messages so that my mail client can grab all the stuff. Do you know how frustrating that is to have to do that every single day?
So
Multiple times a day, no less.
I'm not far off from you there, but before I get to mine, so I'm going to ask how out there as far as usage is your consolidated mail versus your Gmail one?
It's my main thing
It's
that
your
I
main.
use. Yeah,
Okay.
that's my main.
So I had run into just this week my Bungie account for Destiny and Halo and stuff like that
Yeah.
was tied to my Lord Fu account.
Okay.
Which I have like a domain that I bought way back in like early 2000s
Okay.
through Yahoo.
Okay.
So that whole entity is tied to Yahoo. I have probably since like 2009, mained a Gmail account. Mm-hmm. And so it was getting to this thing where I went to go do a thing for Bungie at the beginning of the week, and it sent a code to my Lord Fu account, and I went, okay, you know what? And it wasn't, for whatever reason at this point in time, where I used to have all that stuff pushed to my Gmail account, it was no longer pushing. I'm like, where's the code?
Uh-huh.
And then I would get spoon, and I would forget that I had, and I was waiting for a code that never came.
Okay.
So I was redoing this again at the beginning of the week, and I went, where's this fucking code?
Uh-huh.
And apparently it was sending the code to an alias, one of the aliases that I made for myself at lordfu.net. And
Okay.
somewhere in the last 6 months or so, the company that Yahoo sold their web hosting business, sold it to a subcontracting company who's subcontracting that out to someone else, and my aliases were no longer forwarding to the main admin account
Yeah.
for my domain.
Okay.
And I went, okay, so how do I get into that? And the whole process of the domain subcontracting, we're selling you to this guy,
Uh-huh.
was so convoluted and complex that I'm like, I don't even know how to get to that email anymore.
Yeah.
I have my admin account
Yeah.
and email there,
Yeah.
but I don't have a way to get the password or talk to him. Absolutely, I'm like, this is garbage.
Oh my gosh.
So I bought a Google domain, and I transferred, as of last night, I transferred all my Lord Foos Yahoo who doesn't really own it anymore, over to a Google-owned one.
Okay.
But that put me going through 3-something thousand-ish
Yeah.
mails, but mine went all the way back to like 2002
Okay.
in Yahoo.
Yeah.
Amazing. It was, while I wasn't frustrated about the process,
Yeah.
it was weird to go on like a memory lane trip of stuff that I was using my Yahoo stuff email account for.
Right.
Like when I used to watch a lot and be really into MMA with Rob and hashtag High Grant. I have pads, Muay Thai pads, and Muay Thai shorts
I'm glad you clarified that.
that we used to like funny haha jujitsu stuff after watching fights or whatnot, Pride stuff in UFC, that we would like kick each other with.
Yeah.
And so I had hundreds of mails from the Fairtex store, which is a brand that sells Muay Thai stuff, that abruptly stopped somewhere in like 2006, 2009.
Like
which
they
I
went out of business
Which
or
I
something?
can only guess is that they went out of business and stopped stuff. But up until
Right.
then, I had tons of mails from this. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. Mails from Sony Vegas
Okay.
that I used to like BitTorrent. Sony Vegas rip of the software
Yeah.
that I, for whatever reason, like registered
FBI's coming
to
for
get
him now.
to get
Yeah.
support.
Oh,
That
that's
abruptly
hilarious.
stopped at some point. I'm like, fuck, I don't remember how to do anything in Sony Vegas.
Hmm.
An Adobe account that was registered to my Yahoo that like, hi, this is Adobe. We're canceling this account because you don't use it. I had no idea I had it. I used a completely different
Oh
one for
my God.
the current stuff that I use.
That's funny.
What else was oddball? Some like golf swing analysis company that I must have taken video of and sent to them to have them analyze my golf swing.
Okay.
Just ran. I'm like, wow.
I forgot about all
I
this
forgot I
stuff.
did that. That's funny. Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing that frustrates me is it's like you just rolled out this functionality in January, didn't tell anybody. We didn't get any emails or anything about it.
Yeah.
And you don't give the user a way to turn it off. You don't give the user any way to
Right.
configure it on their own.
Especially if it's a pilot or a work in progress.
Yeah. And and there's you just have to deal with it. Like that's just bullshit, man. Oh gosh, it's so frustrating. So every day, a couple times a day, I log into my frickin' webmail, select all the messages in the quarantine, drag them to the inbox. My mail downloads them. I can read my mail. That's where they're all
that
going.
would be
Yeah,
too,
it's fucking frustrating.
you know,
as
and
shit.
the thing was too, somewhere in the, you know, I don't know if it's as universal as it used to be, but like a lot of the providers, you know, Comcast or DSL or, you know, whatever you were getting your internet through, you know, everyone gave you a free, here's your free email with your account to go, you
Yeah.
know, to this thing. Here's
Yeah.
free email at blah blah application.net or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember our SureWest one. I'm like, I used probably Yahoo, either Yahoo or my Gmail one. I'm like, I'm never going to use this email account. Like,
Oh.
just give me a username.
Well, I've had
Apple.
this email address since 2000, right? I mean, when we first got our broadband.
Well,
So
yeah.
it's like we've been using it forever. And, you know, the thing that concerns me is how many people are out there that have a SureWest account
that don't know that, are
have
missing.
Yeah, they're just missing mails. They don't even know that webmail. A lot of people don't even know that webmail exists. Like I was telling somebody about it recently. They're all, "What's webmail?" I'm like,
So do they have?
You don't even know what that is.
An app, a mail application,
"Well, I'm using
that
Mac OS 10 Mail to grab my. It's just my mail client."
right? But does Consolidated have their own app?
Well, yeah,
where
I mean, it's
where
a-
they wouldn't have to use webmail. Maybe that's
not
what
that
they're
I'm
pushing.
aware of.
No.
No.
Well, then yeah, that's
It's just
like
pop email.
a confusion to the customers. Seems like
I mean,
garbage.
so irritating. And we know someone who works in she's an accountant that works for Consolidated, and I told my wife, tell her I want a freaking email address. I was pissed.
Yeah.
Well, right after I found out, I want an email address of a CTO, and I'm going to email them, and they're going to get a friggin' earful from me. And I was like,
Yeah.
and my wife tells me, oh yeah, she knows. They do it to her too, and they're still reconfiguring it. I'm like,
That's nice. Give me an email
Oh,
address.
you're talking about 7 months of configuration? How long does it take? 7 months
You should
since January?
You should never, ever, ever
Put Steve Apple on it.
roll out
No.
a production feature.
Yeah.
Well, somewhere hashtag High Will is probably like, yeah, it happens all the time. And being an enterprise, I know it does. But
Well, just
something of
make
that
it,
nature where you're gonna shit can or divert off
important stuff.
correspondence. It'd be one thing if it was, something specific or a specific carrier. But
Yeah.
if you're just gonna like pick and choose at
Yeah.
random what's gonna go in here,
Yeah. Dude, oh, trust me. I could probably. I think there's a 19 in there when I looked at dinner time.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
that would something's funny.
So
Oh, boy. I'm worried.
for those of everybody that doesn't know, which is everybody besides the three of us, two of us other than me here, we took Jordan's car apart and we were trying to replace the throwout bearing, which is in the transmission.
Right.
Mazda 3.
It's a Mazda 3, and we couldn't get the hub off after we already cracked the transmission off. And we emptied all the transmission fluid into a pan, and then when I wasn't there, my brilliant friend Jordan decided to put it from this large circular pan into a handle-sized bottle of New Amsterdam
Oh,
Gin.
shit.
in the street, in the gutter, and he spilled it everywhere,
Okay.
and then decided to rinse it down.
Okay.
Transmission
now-
fluid.
It's black everywhere in front of our house.
Okay.
So that was Saturday. Sunday, a City of Roseville employee comes out to our
Uh-oh.
house and says, "If you don't clean this up, you're gonna get fined, and we're gonna come clean it up, fine you, and then send you a bill for the cleaning."
Right.
Which won't be cheap because
No.
anything the city's going to do is going to be expensive.
Right.
Yeah. So we thought it was our next door neighbor because we've sort of had some like.
Oh, they called on you?
Yeah, but it wasn't her because she texted me a little bit earlier and said, "What the fuck is out front of my house?"
It's
And-
that bad?
Yeah, she goes, "It smells horrible, and
man.
like it's black in front of my house."
Okay.
So what she did is she was like, "What the fuck was he thinking?" And I said, "I'm not sure. He thinks about something and doesn't go through his options." Right? So he just goes, "I'll wash it down." Not like, what other
Well,
shit should I
This is a
figure out?
no-brainer because the gutters go into the creeks.
Yes. So
That's a total fucked up thing to do.
yeah, she texts me and she goes, "You would think an aspiring firefighter would realize not to wash transmission
Oh my
fluid down the
God,
gutter."
Absolutely.
So she said, she sent me a GIF of some dude like with a hose, like beating the hose because he can't stop it.
Oh my god.
And then
It's not an anaconda. You can't kill it with a flip flop.
Here's this oil leak and this. Congratulations on your
Yeah,
epic
yeah.
fail meme or GIF,
Yeah.
and then oh dear, and then this one where the chick's just pouring oil all over the.
Oh
engine.
my god.
So yeah, he's
And they take that seriously too,
yeah,
because
that's a pretty big thing.
when we were doing the home renovations,
Yeah.
and they had pumped to make the new foundation for our add-on.
Uh-huh.
So they had the concrete machine up here and the pump, and ran the hose to the back for the foundation.
Yeah.
There was leftover concrete schmitz that fell out of the pipe.
Yeah.
When they were done and gone, they just kind of, and there's still a little bit of like concrete in the gutter. But when the inspector came the next day,
Uh-huh.
he gave us the riot act on you can't have this in the gutter, all this concretous material. You have to clean this up. You have to get this out of the gutter or we'll have to fine you. And I went,
Damn.
what? And he's like, the concrete in the gutter, you have to get it out of the gutter. You cannot have
So did you have to go out there and beat it off with a hammer?
it was still I just beat off
Oh, you
in
just-
the gutter.
you just beat
And I'm like,
Zing!
where's your concrete now?
Bitch!
What's the difference? It's all white.
Yeah, it's hard and white.
I went on down to Don Gonorrhea's and picked up beat off,
Yeah.
and then I used it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
Sorry
yeah,
about
I
that.
got it.
You got to chip it out, right?
It wasn't
That
like fully hardened out yet.
That's
It was like mildly flaccid concrete.
oh.
So I was
jeez.
able to like hose it and sweep it out.
Yeah.
But yes, I could see how they, and it may not have been a neighbor. You know, I have been years and years and years back. I was written up. I was borrowing a friend's truck to do a dump run, and so I was loading it from the back, and I had parked it up on the sidewalk because, you know, why not?
Oh yeah.
but I
you
had
can get
to,
a ticket for that.
and someone gave me a fucking ticket for pulling a small truck up on the sidewalk on like a weekend. It was clear what I was doing. It wasn't like,
yeah.
you
Like
know,
a cop came through and was like,
apparently so. I didn't see it. I
How
came
long
back
were you
to like go
gone?
to, an hour. I was inside the house and I went to go like
Now
go to the dump with the load of shit.
yeah,
And I looked at
that's fucked up.
looked at the windscreen, and underneath the windshield wiper was a fucking ticket.
That's
and I
fucked
went,
yeah. Well, we had
I
a
apologize.
one of
to
our friends
homie.
came over, parked in the driveway, but was over the sidewalk
Like a
Yeah.
foot maybe.
and got a ticket.
Yeah.
But you
I
could
feel
still
like, you know
easily
what?
access
Car-
the whole fucking sidewalk.
Car is in the driveway, but hanging over the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So you don't have the extra little side chunks here out in front. You
Right,
Just have,
yeah.
You just have the sidewalk and then the gutter.
Right.
We have grass sidewalk, grass gutter. Right.
Oh yes. That's right.
So their car was up in the driveway, but so because of that, the way it's configured,
Right.
the driveway is much shorter. So her car was hanging out over the sidewalk, and she got a ticket in our driveway for being over the sidewalk. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because there are a lot of things I see wrong when people are doing shit all the time, speeding down my street or
U-turns in the middle of fucking
Right.
nowhere in the middle of busy
Yeah,
streets.
right.
and like you're
it's
going to
hard
ticket
to-
somebody for that.
Right. And I would have no qualms about if you're sitting somewhere, if you're a civic person capable of writing tickets, or you're a law enforcement. You're sitting
Careful now.
You're sitting somewhere and you're watching, and you see like some douchebag like pull up hot and
Yeah.
just looks like they have zero fucks about where they're parking, and they ride the sidewalk. I'd be like, please bust that dude. That's a
Right.
person that has no respect for parking and obviously no cares. If you're someone that's like coming home and you're absent-minded about it, or you ride the curb a little bit, or it's clear that the truck. Can you? Okay. Or it's clear that you're doing a dump run and
Yeah.
the truck bed is full of stuff.
Well,
it's like, come on.
They're not gonna. They don't.
Come on.
They're not. They're not in the business of figuring out what's morally correct or not. They're just gonna write the ticket, right?
Yeah.
And it's amazing to me when that stuff happens because I never see these assholes driving up and down my street any other time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then
It's so
then
weird.
it's you don't want to be the asshole that like calls on every minor technically
Yeah.
ticketable infraction.
We-
but it's like fucking, I'm the guy that got busted for doing something. It's like, really, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
We
You couldn't-
came home one night, and our neighbors down the street were having a pretty decent sized party. Maybe 4 or 5 houses down the street. Well, one of their party people literally parked in front of my driveway. So I can't now pull into my driveway because some douchebag decided to park at the end of my driveway.
Yeah.
So I go knock on the door and I say, "Hey, man, whatever this car is, whatever color, model, blah, 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 is parked in front of my driveway. If it's not moved in maybe 10 minutes, I'm going to call and have it towed.
Right.
So just pass that around the party. Whoever's car that is, they bet they got 10 minutes to come get it." The dude came out and gave me the death stare, like I'm some asshole. Like, dude, you parked your car
I
in
can't get
front of my fucking my driveway that I pay
Right.
taxes on.
Yeah.
You fucking parked in front of my ability to get my car up and down my driveway and into my garage.
Right.
That is fucking bullshit.
Right.
And you're giving me the skunk eye? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, talk about an asshole move, you know? So,
Should have keyed it.
I did
don't
some
remember
other
that.
things to it.
I remember it, but I don't remember that.
Right. Well, you
Are
know,
we-
well,
Oh.
58,
Okay.
59.
All right.
So we've run into during the holidays, Proctor talking about how people park up and down
Oh, yeah.
outside Folsom Lake,
Yeah.
like in clearly
They don't want to spend the
no parking sign.
$12 to get into
Yeah,
the park.
it's it's probably at capacity, so
Oh,
they're
that's
being
true.
turned around at the gate like,
Yeah.
we're full.
You go park at the
You know,
school.
but those are clearly marked, no parking, and now it's like, you're gonna get written up.
Yeah.
Those things I have no thing.
Yeah.
It's like
If you
because-
park where it says don't park, you deserve to get ticketed.
yeah,
Or just-
those
or
ones I have
punched.
no problem with. But it's like
You can get ticketed, or someone can come fucking beat your ass. and
some
then-
of these residential
call it
ones
even.
where it's like, you could knock on my door, or you could,
Yeah, you need to move that truck because otherwise I got to write you a ticket.
right. I'd be like,
All
My
right,
bad, my
sorry,
bad.
I think
I'm
in the
moving.
justice system, we should introduce you get your ass fucking handed to you, or you can get a fine. Because I feel like if you get one good, pounding,
That's what it.
you know what I'm saying? Like you
Wow.
get a couple teeth knocked out, I'll fucking teach you not to park in a no parking zone. Take it from me.
Wow.
Just
I had to get one metal
take
rod,
your-
bro.
Well, what's
Take your
the
car.
what's the thing about punishment or whatever? It's the
you go to prison.
no that it can't be certain types of punishment, or it can't be some kind of I forget what the saying. There's a
Oh, cool. Thank you.
anyway. Move on.
Well,
'cause
now
I
that
can't
you've just
remember.
brain farted,
So we'll wrap up. Did you get any Amazon Prime deals on Amazon Prime Day?
No, because nothing I ever want's ever on sale. And then even then, the stuff that's on sale wasn't really that good, in my opinion, price wise.
So, did you?
I did.
What'd you get?
I bought this 500 gig solid state SanDisk drive for like $20 or $30 off.
That's
Nice.
Well,
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's a
How much
good one.
was it?
It was like $80.
Yeah.
It was usually like over
That's a
100.
that's a good one. USB 3.
USB-C.
Oh,
It's
there.
really fast. It's SSD. It's really
Nice.
small.
I've been in the market for a fridge, so I was like, well, maybe they've got like a mini fridge I can buy.
Yeah.
You
Then
know?
I had to buy another dongle.
No mini fridges.
So
on
I
Prime
went
Day.
into Monday-ish, like looking at it how I had looked at it most of the previous ones, and like my Black Friday. Like I'm waiting to see an ad of some sort that's going to catch my eye, that that's going
Yeah.
to draw me in to give fucks.
Yeah.
And found nothing.
I couldn't.
And so I'm like,
Yeah,
this
right
is
there.
the same. I don't get this hype. You're like, oh, ask my Alexa to fucking add the Prime Day reminders and tell me about the Prime deals. I'm like, nothing comes through. I did that.
The hype is better than the.
I don't
Yeah,
need a new,
100%.
I don't need another goddamn
I mean,
paper towel holder.
It's literally hyped for
I got a
like
guy-
a couple weeks beforehand, and get everybody up in a frenzy.
Yeah.
Then
And
all
then
the other retailers are, we got our Prime
the
deals.
deals
too.
are like mostly like, and
Yeah.
I just needed one of these, and I was like, okay, fine.
yeah.
I
So
feel like the best deals that they offered were like Amazon.
Oh yeah, it's their
Alexa
own branded
stuff.
stuff.
They were,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was like half off.
Yeah.
so when did it happening for me was
Oh,
towards
that's
the
a nice breeze.
towards the evening. I have a list of like stuff in my like list,
Like
my wish list or
diapers.
whatever it is.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And so random, like, well, let me see if something from my list happens to be
Prime Amazon Prime Day.
right?
Yeah.
And there was.
Oh.
I got running gloves,
Okay.
which obviously I don't need now in this weather.
I think you do.
But
It'll keep your hands supple.
it was like 50% off,
Yeah.
and it made them like $4.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I think I see how this is supposed to work. I got a running hydration vest.
Yeah.
It was like 25% off,
Uh-huh.
which was not the one that I wanted, but a pretty close facsimile.
All right.
And the deal was worth it. When my dad stopped by to drop off the plums, I was showing him the 3 scoop drink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then he was talking about making smoothies with
We had
it.
those.
Yummy.
And then we mentioned that we didn't have a blender. And so I went, are blenders, let's all look for blenders.
Prime Day.
Vitamixes weren't,
Right.
but we did find a commercial Vitamix approximation
Yeah.
that was 55% off a normally $230 commercial
Wow.
blender.
Yeah.
And I went, well, we don't have one. and that's 55% off.
Yeah.
So we got that.
I've been
so
what I was
they
hoping
were there.
for. I was looking for chicks tops over half off, and I didn't find any.
Did you check a prison? Anyway, so they were there.
Yeah.
I think but
Yeah.
there was nothing that came out at me that went,
Buy me.
oh, that's, Black Friday type of thing. Cyber
Yeah.
Monday. It was just, meh.
Yeah, and I kind of like.
But we did find something.
I went to the Prime Day page and kind of looked through some of the crap, and I was just like, yeah, okay, I don't have time for this.
Nothing really interesting.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
And then I stopped looking. And then every once in a while, you get the emails from like different people who were like, "Look, here's the crazy Prime Day deals," and you click on it, and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of it was, meh.
yeah.
Yeah. I had hoped that one of the, like another ring was on there, but it wasn't. Anyway. Never
You need a
did.
new ring?
I would like to have this side of the garage covered.
You should
a
get one with
camera.
the lights.
Just a camera.
Yeah.
The floodlights on the camera.
I was hoping that would be
I
on
think they had one for
prime
sale.
prime sale, but I like the solar one. I buy because we have a solar one with 2 batteries in the back, looking at the big barbecue plaza in the backyard. And the solar panel and the 2 batteries keep it. It's fine. It's dandy. I've never seen it need to use the second one or swap over. The amount of sun it gets keeps it charged. I would like to have one in this corner.
Yeah. And in this corner,
Right. And I would have full coverage of the front, and I'm not too worried about the back, but I have one in the house that would get someone coming into the house
Yeah.
and over here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, there you go. I mean, you probably could have found a camera, I would imagine.
a camera?
Yeah.
I wanted a Ring one so that I had the same.
Specifically.
Yeah.
But isn't there Prime? Aren't they Amazon?
There was not a Prime Day sale on them.
Oh.
That's what I was looking for.
That's disappointing. That is just disappointing.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of barnacles.
Anyway.
Anyway, there you go.
All right, well, let's wrap this
That's
up.
43 in a
That's what she
can.
said.
Oh, in the can.
In the can. Ready
Chandler
to
knows
go.
all about that.
Here, you got to do it into the mic. Say thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Oh, wow. We even got the McDonald's.
Yeah.
Diabetes.
Okay. Son, that's enough. Your 15 seconds are over.
And on that note,
And on that note,
we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Thanks for listening.